Ahoy there, Legion! It's the Monday after a Devstream, so you know we got a recap and review for you. I woke up with a half-stuffed nose, so I'm apologize early if I'm not as enthusiastic as normal. So maybe it's just this nasal congestion headache thing going on that's lowering my shields to frustration, but I'm quite ticked at both DE's stance on Hema's research costs as well as, and I checked, no other Warframe content creators calling out their shenanigans on this. Quite a few official channels have recently thrown their hat into the Devstream overview ring, and not a single one of them's bringing this up. So since no one else seems to want to go to bat for the common gamer, allow me. We're now over a month after release, and Hema costs are still not getting changed in the slightest. This might take you by surprise, as last recap I mentioned the idea DE had to boost the drop rates to help fix the problem, by their own admission, they created in the first place. They accepted fault multiple times, and because of this, while not the perfect fix, an increase in drop rate was a decent compromise between what the players wanted and what the devs wanted. So most fans relaxed and rested down their pitchforks as a result. Unfortunately, that was apparently the only result DE was actually aiming for, as they have instantly heel-turned and that idea is now off the table. I wasn't quite positive I heard such a stupid thing correctly, so I checked the Twitters, and here's a direct quote from Steve on the issue. His suggestion on stream? Just go to the derelict. Quote, "It's raining there," end quote. So, DE's official stance on this is no, we won't fix what we ourselves broke, and while this is in fact causing clans to boot members just so they can lower the cost themselves and fix it in that regard, which is the exact opposite of what we intended to do in bringing clans together in the first place, instead we'll just have you, the gamer, farm harder to fix our own problem. Oh, that seems reasonable. Now, Steve did say on his stream this Sunday they're still thinking about it, but as it should never have released in that state at all, and it's been like that for over a month since we noticed it, and the planned compromise has been removed instead of patched in immediately, I got a feeling it's going to be a rather interesting channel update come Wednesday. Might as well get the rest of their shenanigans out of the way so we can move on to the lighter stuff. First, Secure Electa's credit farm is getting nerfed. Hard. Not gonna lie, Legion, expect a drastic cut. Not only that, whatever the weakened form of it is gonna be tied directly to your mastery rank. So unless you're the highest you can possibly be at all times, you're gonna get nerfed twice. This also sets a really idiotic precedent for future and existing perks by making this yet another band-aid for that system instead of the 2.0 it desperately needs at this point. And second, sorties aren't very popular for some reason the devs can't quite put their finger on. So what'll make folks jump into it? Actually having Riven mods drop commonly instead of getting spam 2k endo each time? Nope, according to them, anyone who's claiming that is lying or has a memory problem. Yes, that's on video. No, instead we're going to add Infested Salvage as a mission type, along with the Kuva Fortress Assault. You know that one mission you ran twice and decided never to run again because it takes far too long and there's zero payoff? That's the one. Man, the only way they can make sorties possibly worse would be to add... Oh no, they wouldn't. They'd never. Oh yeah, coming soon to a sortie near you. Bar Queen missions. And melee Riven mods to really dilute that reward pool. Why not? Okay. In other news, Console Squad, as you might have noticed, the Glass Gambit is now live. It was almost instantly approved from ship to cert and left DE speechless. So enjoy the new Nidus Warframe, weapons, and cure. Cure for what? Oh, you'll find out soon enough. The new player Sentinel is still in the works and seems to have a weapon that'll refill your health and shields as it deals damage. So a nice little boost for new Tenno to gain even more footing when first starting out. The single largest positive topic featured this week was Warframe. From motion captured agile dance animations to an in-depth look at the step sequencer, things are starting to come together. But only just starting, as they described a wild amount of potential abilities, meaning mechanically they're still working from scratch. Also, they intend all bards to time up on the same universal 4 on the floor beat as to match up their musical tracks. But last Devstream they said you can speed up or slow down your music based on your loadout, and that ties directly to your animation speed, so tracks are gonna be out of sync on the first cast if that's true. So we'll wait and see when the shoe drops on that one. And if you think I'm kidding, they only just now realized people might use their sounds to troll other players, and that was only because one of the lead devs was driving the other one crazy while testing testing it in the same room. Game designer's logic clearly flows much differently than gamer's logic. And by differently, I mean slower. But assuming she drops as a fun little support frame, the Bard will be involved in a now formulaic quest with a syndicate, Cephalon Suda. Let's hope it's more lore and less index. Valkyr Prime lovers, your promo video is still in the works, but has been delayed to February. Not that I think anyone's particularly surprised by that. Nullifier nerfs are on the way. Not only does it appear we can permanently break their bubbles upon destroying a new Osprey floating above them, but the bubbles they have will scale to fit the space they are in. So in theory, no more purged abilities from a nullifier that just spawned in a room under or next to you. So there's your first shot of unmitigated good news for the week, Legion. Wish I had more for you. Mag, Chroma, and Zephyr Deluxe skins were mentioned, but alas, poor Zephyr. Even though it's gone through a few redesigns, for some reason it's only a pet project for someone who isn't even on the character design team at DE. So in their off time, they eventually chip away at it. So it sounds like her deluxe skin's having as much trouble getting off the ground as she is. There was more about dojos and dark sectors, and while it all sounds cool, they both change their minds and delay things so often at this point, I don't even want to get your hopes up, Legion. But maybe that's just my cold talking. What are your thoughts on it, Legion? Am I on point? Just cranky? Or perhaps I'm not being hard enough on DE at this point? Let me know what you think of old Hema Gate or whatever else is going on in this game of ours. If you think I'm basically on the right track, by all means, like, favorite, and share it with your favorite Tenno. You know we always appreciate it when you does. As always, thank you for watching, and catch you next time, Legion. Take care.